Good morning, everyone. Jamie and I are so excited about this topic. So great. Hey, so nice to see you on camera.
Hi.
Welcome. Hey, Gabby, welcome. Kathy's here. David's back. Thank you, David, for coming back. T is here. Welcome, T.
Ah,
Oli is here. Hey, Oli, welcome. Dita is here. Welcome. Diane, good to see you
Hello,
here.
hello.
Gwen, good to see you. Nice, Diane. So good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Deb, welcome. Good to see you
Thank
on
you.
camera. And Colette, welcome. And we have some other people joining us, so we'll give everyone.
Liza's coming in.
Yeah. And Kathy, I don't know if I said hi to you. I saw you come on. Thank you so much. So this is a great topic. And we've got just a couple more people coming, and then we'll start. So for those of you who are new, we encourage you to use the chat if you can. Ask questions. We'll pull you on. Let's see. And yeah, thank you, Kathy, for using the chat and showing everyone. So Kathy said good morning to everyone. So use the chat if you want to ask a question or make a comment or share. You can do low tech and just raise your hand if you're on camera, right? Obviously, we can't see you if you're not on camera. If you're off camera, that's why we use chat, or you can unmute yourself. We don't always see when someone's unmuted. So Anna and Dee, thank you so much for coming and joining us. I saw you just came on, so that's great. Got Bruce joining us.
Yep.
Just make sure that you use the chat or you raise your low tech hand, or you can use the hand emoji too. We love to see the hand emoji, but sometimes I know on the phones, that's a little bit harder to when I'm on my phone, I don't know about you, Jamie, when I'm on my phone doing Zoom, I can never get the things to come up.
I know I'm going to embarrass myself if I'm on my phone using Zoom because I'm going to do something stupid.
It's true. It's true.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
So I'm actually so Anna just joined us, and oh yeah, I said hi to Anna, and Bruce joined us. I saw Bruce join us somewhere.
Susan's coming in.
Okay, great. And then Dee, thank you so much. Yay. All right. Love to see you. Thank you. And Susan's here. Yay, Susan. Okay, so great to see so many familiar faces. Kelly is back. Yay, Kelly. So good to see you. So we just love this so much, this community. So Gwen said, how is visualization, a happy animal different from hoping for Reiki to affect an animal in a particular way? Ah, good question. So no problem, Gabby. No problem if your camera's off. Totally fine if you guys want to go off camera. If you talk, you might want to go on camera. If you have bad reception, staying off camera is usually a good idea. So I did hit record, thank God, because last week we had a great discussion and I forgot to hit record, so I apologize. But so what we're going to talk about today is meditation. But before I get into that, so I'm going through a personal crisis right now. I am at my sister's. For those of you, I'm not sure, those of you new who don't know, I had to relocate to help my sister I relocated March 31st from Portland. I gave up my apartment and I moved down to California to take care of one nephew who's in high school. And then my other nephew is addicted to drugs and he's had problems. Willie had a problem last night and he's here at the house. And so if a little zombie gets up and comes into the camera, I'm going to have to put him back in the room slowly. So just so you all know, that's what I'm kind of dealing with. So, and he is like a zombie. So just, you know what? This is where the practice comes in so handy, right? All is well. No matter what happens, all is well. If Mason comes out, we'll just tell him to go back. Thank God he listens to me. I'm so happy about it. So let's get into our topic, right, Jamie?
Yes, absolutely. It's a good one.
About this. So again, just you can unmute, raise your hand, and Gwen, we will get to your question first, but we're going to talk a little bit about what meditations, so for Animal Reiki, would you use? So obviously we do the Let Animals Lead method of Animal Reiki, which is not human Reiki adapted for animals. It is its own system created specifically for animals, taking into consideration their agency and their sensitive nature. So when Kathleen created this, she created it. I mean, she's been doing Animal Reiki since 1998, but that was human Reiki adapted for animals until 2006. So we're not saying human Reiki adapted for animals doesn't work. It does, but it doesn't work with all animals. If you insist upon using hands, you can't do Reiki with a crocodile or a tiger or any kind of wild animals. So that's why we do the Let Animals Lead. And she's done it since 2006. And so some of these meditations are traditional Japanese meditations that we do in this system, but then some of them are some that Kathleen created. But what we're going to talk about today are our foundational meditations. And when you take a class, these are the meditations that you're going to use. And one is the All Is Well, which isn't Reiki. That's Louise Hay that did All Is Well. So we do All Is Well because All Is Well is a state of mind, right? So we always want our state of mind to be all is well. In fact, it's one of the pillars. I think it's pillar maybe possibly 4 of the Let Animals Lead way, that we always have an all is well state of mind, that we see the heart of the animal and not what's going on the outside. And then we have the precepts, which is another foundational teaching. And then we have Joshin Kokyo-ho, which is the breathing. We also call it the breath of light, I think. So you're breathing in through your nose, you're pulling your breath into your belly, into your hara, and you're making that connection not only with your belly, but your belly is connected to the earth, right? And so it's really stabling and grounding, because when we're grounded, then we can be more expansive. And so, hey, Sarah, I just saw that you joined. Welcome. So good to see you. So with the Joshin Kokyo-ho, that is one that we always start with. It's just like if you were a basketball player and you're doing layups, which are really basic and rudimentary, but some of the best basketball players in the world, that's what they do all the time. They start off that because it's a foundational teaching, and your foundation is there for a reason. So then we do the healing bridge. Some of you may know that. That's where we're creating a bridge outside of our heart and extending it to the animal. And then Jamie and I always share the smiling meditation, which isn't Reiki, but it's a really wonderful way to check in with yourself and say, you know what? I feel happy. I can bring happiness to my heart at this moment, which is great when you sit with the animals. And Jamie, you brought up a really good thing that makes our meditations really incredibly powerful and different from like doing a meditation with Calm or, Insight Timer or Headspace.
Right. I mean, we all know there's so many meditations out there. Meditation is very popular now, and a lot of them are really wonderful. But what makes us unique is all the meditations that I've ever tried that are not from the Let Animals Lead method, they don't ask you to set an intention. Right. Instead, you might be going inward, or you might be letting go of your mind, but there's no real intention. And so with Let Animals Lead, the meditations we do, yes, we go inward. We connect to that source inside us. We share it, but we set an intention, and it's about our mindset. Which most meditations don't focus on. They're focused about letting go of your thoughts, letting go of your mind, just quieting the mind. But we're a little different. And I think that's what makes the Let Animals Lead meditation so powerful and helps us connect to animals, because we have that intention. We have the mindset that says, we want to connect with you. We want to offer this light to you. We want to sit in this space with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's such a good point, Jamie, because we have intention with everything. Like, even if you go into the bathroom at night, you have the intention to brush your teeth, right? Intention creates habit. It creates that space. So when we have intention, when we go to sit with an animal, our intent is always not to cure or heal, because we are not healers, but it is to hold space, to allow the animal to be comfortable, to allow the animal to lead, right? That's another one of our intentions, right, Jamie?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
that's important.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to say more about that.
And just that, we are allowing the animal to lead. We're not focused on the problem. We're not trying to heal them. And so that's what makes us, we're so different. Yes, we're different from just regular meditations because we have an intention. We're also different from human Reiki, for most human Reikis that I've ever run into, because they're trying to heal a problem. And with us, we're not trying to heal.
Mhm.
We recognize that, that's not what we're here to do per se, but we are here to hold space.
Oh, wait, Jamie, sorry. Sorry.
Okay,
Oh, sorry. It muted you for some reason. Sorry. Okay, there you go. Sorry
okay.
about that.
Yeah. So, that's what makes us different. We're different than calm and just meditations that you can get on YouTube and all of those. But we're also different from the human Reiki because the human Reiki focuses on the problems. They try to heal you, they may try to take things out. And we're not doing any of that. And I'm sure all of us, have had conversations with people who call and they want us to, maybe offer Reiki to their animals. And are you going to get messages? And, can you focus on the problem? And you have to explain that that's not what we do. So, but it's powerful and we've all seen it. Anybody who works with Let Animals Lead, it does not take long to see how powerful it is when you sit in meditation with the right mindset, the right intention with an animal to see what can happen.
I love that. The right intention,
Mhm.
right? Because we want to make sure our intention kind of goes along with what you're saying here, Gwen. We want to make sure that our intention isn't that we're hoping that Reiki will affect the animal in a certain way. We want to let go of that because really, when we're holding space, we're just holding space with no expectation of what will happen in that space. So let's say the animal has, stomach issues. And so if we go into the space thinking, oh, I hope, Reiki cures the stomach issues. And then we see the animal and we're like, see them as happy because in our mind, we're thinking, oh, they're happy because their stomach issues are healed. Instead of, I'm here to hold space, whatever happens, you see them, you visualize them being happy without like that intent, oh, they're happy now because they don't have stomach issues. No, you just see them as happy. You see, when we see them as happy, when we're visualizing them as happy, we're just seeing them at their heart, right? So no matter what their physical limitations are, they can still be this beautiful, big, happy animal that's running around and being free. I mean, even like if you think of yourself, if you're sick and you're bedridden and you visualize yourself running around, you're not really visualizing, you might think in your head, oh yeah, I'm better, but you're also just, it's just a part of you. It's not different from you. So I don't know, Jamie, if you want to add on to that.
I think that that's a great way to describe it. It really is. We're not looking at the problem. And when we look at them, we're as we focus on their happiness, what happens to us? We feel happy, we feel joyful. And then it's compassion. And then we're just becoming this emotion, right? We're not focusing on the physical, we're not focusing on problems. We just focus on the emotion, and pretty soon that's what we become.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? You mentioned messages before, and I want to say that. So we're really blessed. We're going to have Taya Strom, animal communicator, brand new author, come and join us on, it was going to be October 4th. Well, I had the date wrong, but she's coming on October 18th. And I'm really excited. This is going to be an hour and a half long conversation with Taya to give plenty of time for Q&A. It will not be a time to get readings or to, she won't be doing any readings at all. But she is going to be leading us in a meditation. She's going to be talking about her book, but she's also going to be talking about, for those of you who are animal communicators and animal Reiki practitioners, what to do. And even those of you who aren't animal communicators, what to do when you get messages from the animal in an animal Reiki session and how to handle that. She's going to be talking a lot about the ins and outs, but if you haven't gotten Taya's book yet, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I am not an animal communicator. I've taken Taya's classes. I can do it. In fact, I had a really good little mini session with my pit bull, and using the tips from Taya's book, I was actually able to connect with my pit bull Shrek so easily. I know it's a little off topic, but I just want to encourage you, get her book, get her audio book. And it's Taya narrating it, so you get to hear her beautiful voice. And it's also, oops, sorry. turn this, how do I turn this on do not disturb? It's, you get to hear her voice, but also she walks you through some meditations and you get to hear her voice walking you through. So you're not like trying to read it and then go, okay, I'm going to practice it. So I encourage you all, get her book, but she will be talking about what to do when you get messages in meditation, because if you do, and could you put the, yeah, of course. So it's Taya Healer. Oops, let's zoom in. It's tayahealer.com is her website. And then I think there's a link to her book on the website. If you, oh, whoops, that was a direct message. Sorry, Anne. Let me get that to everyone. tayahealer.com. You can go on Amazon and just search Taya Strong, and then you'll find her book. It is an amazing book. There's one bad review, and I'll have to tell you about that. Her book had literally just hit Amazon, and someone put a 1-star review. And I was like, what? So I did some research. And when I went to Goodreads, she also put a 1-star on Goodreads. And she said it was a useless book. Well, she's an animal Reiki and an animal communicator. I thought, oh my God, that's so not right. She obviously didn't even read the book. When you read this book, whether you're an experienced animal communicator or not, it is an amazing journey with her. And she's so generous with her time and her knowledge, and literally just, and Taya's a really good friend of Sarah. So if, when we're in meditation, you are going to get messages. And so we're not going to talk about that here today, but Taya is going to talk to you about that on the 8th.
I don't get messages.
Well, and I don't either. Not, and we all don't, right? But some of us do. So for those of you who do, you're going to be able to do this. But yes, yes, T, thank you so much. No, most of us don't get messages, but there are the few that do. So this is a really great time. So going back to the meditations, what we do in the Let Animals Lead method, and what all of you can do, is when you go to sit with an animal, you set your intention. I'm open to holding space for you, and you can take as little or as much as you want, or you don't have to join me at all. And then you kind of tell the animal, I'm just going to sit in meditation. Now, this isn't animal communication. You're not waiting for an answer. You're just telling the animal what you're doing. And that's really important. What reminded me of Taya also is that Taya always starts every session with joy in her heart. So if you want to have a really good session with an animal, start with the smiling meditation, right? So you just sit, you do some deep breathing, right? Breathe deep into your belly, release out your mouth, calm your body, calm your mind, and then think about something that you absolutely love that brings you so much joy. Now, when you have that in your mind, now you can go and sit with the animal in that space of joy. That's really important, because it's the difference between if somebody goes, okay, I'm going to give you a massage, and they are just like, okay, we're just doing this. Or they say, hey, I'm going to give you a massage. I love giving massages, and I'm so excited that you're here, and I'm so excited to offer this to you, right? Big difference in energy. And who are you going to pick repeatedly? You're going to pick the joyful person. So just remember that animals have shown Taya, they've shown us, they like it when we come to them in joy. So super simple meditation anybody can do. Bring that joy in your heart, and then you sit and you just do the all is well mantra, right? Breathing in, all is well, and then breathing out, all is well. And you can do that. You can breathe in. If you know the precepts, you could do that as the precepts. For today only, do not anger. And then breathing in, do not worry, and breathing out, right? Super simple meditation you could do with any animal, any place, anywhere, right? Or if you've studied the Let Animals Lead method, and I know that Jamie and I have done this many times, right? Jamie, and you want to walk them through the Joshin Kokyoho because you do that really, really well.
Absolutely. Yes. Do you want to do that now or
No,
later?
just walk them through what we do, and that's totally
Oh,
fine.
okay. Yeah. So you want to get in a nice, comfortable position, and you just start to breathe in through your nose, and you want to focus on pulling that down to your belly, and imagine that there's this beautiful light, the light that is the divine, the universe inside you. And with every breath, it just grows larger. It's like when you blow on a campfire on the coals and they just all of a sudden the fire just shoots up. And that's what happens inside of us. As we breathe in, we're blowing on this light, and pretty soon it fills our body. Every cell is illuminated. And as we exhale, it goes out into the space around us. And that's when, before we start, we set our intention to invite the animal to step into this space that we're about to create if they wish. And, then we can just invite them back in. If you want to join me, please step in. This space is for you. And you just create the space. And then you can sit in that space and just focus on the joy and the love that you feel in your heart.
Absolutely. And anybody can do that, right? So
Absolutely.
and I think that what makes our meditation so powerful and the reason we get so many wonderful reactions from the animals is because we are focused inward, right? We're not focused on healing. We're not focused on, I've got to cure you. Once we go into that mindset, we go into the mindset of the animal is broken and we're the healer, right? And really, everyone is on their own healing path. The reason Reiki works so well for humans is because our mind goes wherever a hand goes, right? Well, animals, their mind will go where your hand or your thoughts are going. So if they have a broken leg and you're going, it's like boom, boom, boom. It's not helpful. But when we can just hold space and let go of trying to fix, that makes a huge difference. And you can try it. You can try it with wild animals. You can go out and sit. And again, we always say if you're sitting out in a garden or somewhere and the birds come in, the birds are only going to stay for a couple minutes. They're prey animals. They're energetic. They go everywhere. But when birds come in or they come closer or they start zooming, or even insects, like a lot of times I'm out, dragonflies seem to really like this, and they come closer and closer and they kind of fly around you.
Mm.
Spiders like it too, which is I always try to be far away from bushes because I always find spiders. Start. I'm like, no, 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 no. I like the spiders, but I don't want them. So, but you might find, like flies might land on you and just stay there because your energy is attractive. So when we sit with animals, the most powerful thing we can do is go inward. And all of these meditations are really powerful for just keeping our focus on, all is well, all is well. We're not focused on the animal. We're just focused on the energy of all is well. No matter what happens in this moment right now, all is well. Another thing that Jamie and I were noticing, because we talked about mindset last week, we were noticing, oh, wow, you know what? Every single meditation is about mindset, is about positive mindset. We've got all is well,
Yes.
right, Jamie? I don't know if you want to say something.
Yes, and, I was thinking what you were talking about before, that's just an example of kind of a fixed mindset, and it reminds me of the quote, in the expert's mind, there are very few possibilities, but in the beginner's mind, there are limitless possibilities. And so when we're trying to heal, it almost puts us in that fixed mindset, that expert mindset, and it limits the possibilities. But when we're just like setting space, holding space, and open to anything, that's a growth mindset. That's the beginner's mindset. And that's where all the possibilities exist.
Well, and that's what Kelly said last week too, about when she goes into sessions, and Kelly's an amazing animal Reiki teacher and practitioner, that she always goes with that childlike curiosity, right? Like anything can happen. And I
Mhm.
love that because it's true. And the animals feel that. Because if you're focused on, let's say the animal has some issues like aggression issues, right? And so, oh, okay, I really want to support this animal so they can let go of their aggression issues, and you're done with the session and you hear, oh, they're still aggressive. Okay. So then you think, oh no, it was a failure. Well, I'm here to say that I don't think any of these sessions are ever a failure. It just may not be what your expectations were. But let's say he didn't let go of aggression, but he learned just to be a little more peaceful, like maybe less reactive when someone knocks on the door, maybe less reactive when someone's passing by the window. Maybe they're sleeping better. Maybe they're not waking up. There's other things that could happen because of your session. But if we're just zoned in on one cure, then that doesn't really help what's happening. Um,
Right.
And like you said, it's a fixed mindset. So we're like, this is the only possibility, instead of a growth mindset or an unlimited mindset, right? Like we're talking about limited, we want this to happen, or unlimited. Now anything can happen in this space. So,
Right.
so Gwen, I'm not sure if you want to unmute and we can talk a little bit more about this, because I want to make sure that we answer your question completely.
Yeah, I think that helps a lot. And I also wanted to say, I'm kind of glad when you forget to record because you have to send out the paper, and I actually am more likely to read than to go listen to the.
Funny. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for saying
Yeah,
that, because
yeah.
that makes me feel really good. And in fact, I should be doing this because we could do them as blogs too.
Mhm.
I was thinking when I was typing, I was like, nobody's going to read that.
No,
So,
I printed it off, and and then I can go back and I can underline and make notes or whatever. So
oh yeah. Well, thank
I'm always
you.
kind of glad when you forget to record.
Well,
Yeah,
then we
but
will start making better notes too. So go ahead.
anyway, I think, yeah, that helps. I always have a little trouble with the idea of setting intention, but I think that has been cleared up a lot for me today.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for that question in the chat, because that was a really good question, because we talked about that in the recap. Jen, who is a brand new practitioner, said that she visualizes, and it's that okay. And yes, of course, we always just want to make sure the visualizations are just a joyful, happy, and sometimes the visualizations will just come to you. And we don't know if it's maybe the animal. I remember at Bright Haven, one of the animals, Patty, was passing. I mean, she didn't pass for another 3 weeks, but I was offering or sharing space with her. And all of a sudden it was like, I could see her running, like it was sunflowers and sunshine, and she's jumping and she's leaping. And at this point, she's like completely, she can't really move. She's panting. She has to be cleaned up. She's not even eating on her own, nothing. But in that space, you could feel like her spirit was showing me. And like Taya will talk more about this too, which is another great thing for us as animal Reiki practitioners. We might get visualizations, right? Well, what does that mean? And what Taya is saying is like, oh, sometimes that's your interpretation of it, right? So maybe Patty was sharing with me her joy, and she likes being in the sunshine and she likes running. And my mind translated it as, oh, sunflowers, that's really joyful to me, right? Sunshine, I got that. And then, the thing. So that's another thing, like, that you might get during your animal Reiki sessions. This visualization or something might come to you. The animal might share something with you. And that's where Taya is going to be completely amazing, because she's going to explain what that means. And in just a little bit, like what I got from her book and what I've gotten from Taya just in her classes is, we'll get messages, but it's our interpretation. We got to be really careful about that, because our interpretation is different. And, but an animal communication session is, okay, show me what's happening. And the animal shows you. And then you go, oh, okay, let me verify this. So you're showing me you're happy in the sun running around. And then the animal says yes or no, right? Whereas in an animal Reiki session, we just accept the visualization and go, thank you for that. And then, maybe just focus on that, right? Because that's a happy place for the animal. So we always just want to be really careful between animal communication and animal Reiki. So thank you so much, Gwen. And so Susan, I know that you've unmuted a couple times, and I would love to hear from you if you are open to sharing.
Yeah, I just have two things. One, I did not catch the name of her book, and I am really interested.
I'll put a link to her book, because I'm sure everyone's really interested. It is an amazing book. I know Taya personally. I met Taya, God, in maybe 2017. And you know what? It was really funny, because the way I met her was, I thought that a friend had told me that Taya was doing human Reiki at a horse barn. And I wanted to know if I could do animal Reiki, but she was doing animal Reiki, and she's a medium also and a psychic. So I contacted her and said, hey, I heard you're doing Reiki at this barn. I would love to do animal Reiki there if you're open to it. And she thought, well, that's really weird. I'm teaching animal Reiki there. That's weird. But then she said, when she met me, she said her guides kept telling her, no, she's confused. She's confused. So when she met me, it was a really wonderful meeting, and she's such a wonderful person. But in her book, I've taken classes with her, and her classes are amazing because you get her guidance, but her book is literally like taking a class, and there's so many wonderful little just meditations and techniques to use. And this one little mini technique I did with my dog Shrek, and I'm not an animal communicator. I don't even practice, but I thought, okay, I'm going to try this. And boom, Shrek was there. And we had this little exchange, and I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe this just happened because of what she taught. So yes, I'm sorry. I know we're talking about meditation, but it actually does have a lot to, let me see. Oh, here it is. So here's a link to her book, and we'll put it in. So, and what was your other question, Susan?
It's a comment and a proposal at the same time. I have just finished taking a Over the Moon Extraordinary class with Lynn McTaggart, and some of you may be familiar with her. She is she's an investigative journalist by title, but the woman has a firm command on every aspect of science you can think of. And the class that I took was refining your intentions to be successful. And I can't tell you, every time I hear you talking about intention, I think we started out it's a Zoom class. She's located in London, but every time we'd start out the class, it was obvious from the chats, the feedback, that all of us, including me, think I'm making an intention when it doesn't have a whisper of a chance of being successful because it doesn't zero in. And I'm thinking the proposal part of my comment is I would like to write to Lynn and ask her permission to give a mini overview for people who just work with animals. And if she agrees, I'll get back to you and see if we can do so, because once you understand it, it's phenomenal. But if I get back to you about this, I will also give you the link for her so that you can take her class yourself. It's just finished, so it won't be offered again for maybe 6 months or so, but it's worth every penny to take it.
Wonderful, Susan. You know what?
And she's also taking a class, doing a class right now that I'm also taking. It's Become a Better Healer. Now, it is gauged for human to human, but as you said, Leah, animals love it when we talk to them. So when you're healing, if you're being, well, just sit still for heaven's sakes and I can get this done, that resonates so badly with the animal or with the human that they can't function. They can't be receptively part of what you're doing. So it's all about, if we change the tone and the tenor and the positivity of our words to whoever we're working with, we can accomplish miracles. So that's my comment and thing. And if it's okay with you, I will just email her and ask about permission to tell you and Jamie more, and then we can pass it on. You guys can pass it on to everyone else.
Yeah, okay. Or you can also pass it on to us. I think that would be great. But yeah, just, it's good for us too. I think you're making a really good point about how we have to, we're learning Animal Reiki, but it's good to expand to other lessons because that's going to help us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's so related. It's so related. And I don't know how many of you, not Leah, she's gone.
She's listening. She's listening though.
Okay. I don't know how many of you are vaguely familiar, and I would say that's my level of understanding quantum physics. It's mind-blowing when you get into it, and you guys may not realize it, but you're all talking about the effects of quantum physics.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yes, anyway, we're all connected. That
That's
is
all.
quantum physics. Thank you so much, Susan. So we have a few more minutes for a few more comments or about meditation. If you want to, again, you can unmute yourself for those of you who are off camera. I think that's the easiest thing to do. Or you can do the emoji reaction, or you could just raise your hand if you're on camera. And so we'd love to hear from you. And thank you again, Susan. And if you want to put anything in the chat, that would be great too. So anyone? I'm sure we have comments.
I'm sure we do.
Don't be shy.
Somebody's got to break the ice. Who's it going to be?
I
Come on down.
know. Okay. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. Nobody has a comment
Something to share, a question
about
about
yeah,
anything.
you can even share like a situation that you've experienced recently. We always love to hear that. We always love to hear about what people are doing, any kind of really cool experiences you have.
Mary Lynn says she
Okay.
has a story.
Okay, great.
Go ahead and unmute yourself, Mary Lynn.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Yes. What's this
Mm,
Oh, yeah, I think
What's
Mary Lynn's got bad.
happening to me lately?
Okay.
oh,
Oh, should I write this down?
Yeah,
you
maybe so. Yeah, because
Uh-oh.
you're breaking up. In the meantime, well, Dee has a question. How do you
Yeah.
suggest setting up an animal Reiki group in my community? Sorry, I don't have a mic. So, Dee, are you thinking about doing in person, or are you thinking about doing Zoom? And are you asking like how to advertise it or what you should be sharing? Just a little more information would be great. And if you could put that in the chat, then and then I don't know if Mary Lynn put hers in the chat or not. But while we're waiting, I'm excited because I'm going to go to Florida next Friday, and I'm going to teach at a monkey rescue, which is funny because I like monkeys, but monkeys kind of scare me, and there's 200 of them. But so that'll be really interesting, but it'll also be really fun. There's some really lovely ladies taking the class, and so I'm excited. And then I'll be going to CARE, but also Kelly and I are going to go to SeaWorld, and we are going to go see the orcas. We don't have a private thing or anything. It's going to be just as a public, but we're going to go see the orcas. And I think we'll do a couple of videos on how you can go to offer Reiki in public places. And so we'll be sharing that. Yeah, Bruce says, thank you. Okay, so Dee says, oh, animal rescue Reiki. So Dee, and let's see, in person or remote, depending. Okay, yeah, it's all right. So you want to you want to kind of, so what I'm thinking is maybe you're trying to target shelter people or shelter volunteers who are already in rescues and doing a Reiki share. Do you need them to have Reiki experience? Because that makes a difference. If it's just open to anyone and everyone, I would start with exactly the meditations that we shared today. Just all is well, the precepts, Joshin Kokyo Ho. What do you think, Jamie?
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you guide people through those, anybody can do those. That's the thing, because it's all about intention, and we all have this ability. We all are connected, right? So we don't need to have anything special done to us. We can offer and hold space if we set our intention and realize there's no difference between us and the animal. We're just connected. We're all one.
So then she says, holding heart space for all animals. Should everyone start with one of your courses? Well, I mean, they can start here on the free calls. They don't have to pay for a course. If they want to take a course, then yeah, we have a lot of our, well, let's see, we have maybe 3 or 4 teachers that are teaching online. There's some teachers that are teaching in person level 1. So there's that opportunity. Or you can actually, Dee, you can take one of Kathleen's book and you can do shares from the book, like Everything Animal Reiki. You can take meditations out of that and do a share out of that. So I don't know, Jamie, if you have some other suggestions for that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you have her book, so that's great. You can go in person. You could, if you want to do it online, if you have Zoom, you can do that. You can put it on Meetup. So there's lots of different ways you can get the word out. You can go to the sanctuaries, the rescues. You can, do it remotely. But yeah, you pick a meditation, and most people, a lot of them probably won't have Reiki training. I'm just assuming that that's been my experience when I go in. It could be totally wrong. But even if they do, it doesn't matter. If they don't, it doesn't matter, because you're there to guide them through it. And remember, you'll help them with the intention. You'll help them keep the focus. You'll take them through the meditation. And so you're holding space for everyone, not just the animals, but you're holding space for all the people in your circle. And they're going to be able to do this. It's going to be fine. And the animals will be helped, and the people will be helped, and you will be helped. I think we forget that sometimes when we go in to work with animals, and I just had this experience, a woman called me, and yes, the animal had some medical issues going on, but that's not what needed to really calm down, that I needed to hold space for. I needed to hold space for her, because she has had a lot of trauma, and she keeps putting this on the animal. And so it's like, we got to work with your mindset. I have to work with you, and everything will take care of itself here, but let's work with you. And so sometimes we forget that really, the animals benefit when we can help the people too.
Absolutely. I love that, Jamie. That's a really great reminder. And Dee, it doesn't have to be complicated. You always want
No.
to start with just a little opening meditation, and then maybe talk about what Animal Reiki is and what it isn't, and how we practice and how they can be of service to their animals by watching like their mindset, right? Because when we go in with worry and we go to help animals, we're actually coming in really heavy and dark, right? But if we can bring joy to our heart, just put our worry aside for this moment, go in with joy in our heart, sit with the animal, then they're going to be more attracted to us, and the people are going to have a better experience, and they're going to have a better reaction. Because it really is all about energy. What you put out is what you get back. So that's why a lot of people who are neurotic have neurotic animals, right? They're putting out neuroses, they're getting it back. But if you're putting out joy, you're putting out love, peace, that is what you're going to start getting back from the animals. Okay. They're going to start mirroring that. And that is really what they tell us over and over and over that they want. Even the grumpy crocodile at Care in Ngozi, I think like the first 4 or 5 years when we went there, he would kind of hide. He would come out and take Reiki, but he would hide. He would be in a place that wouldn't see him. But now he comes out all the time. I mean, he likes being the teacher. He likes, everybody's like, oh, go sit with Ngozi. He's amazing. He's amazing. And now his enclosure is like in front. And so it's really interesting. He feels loved, he feels appreciated, and he mirrors that back. But it took him a few times. He was still, even though we would say that, he was also kind of in the back. And I don't think he felt as accepted, but we would always say, oh, go work with Ngozi because he's amazing. And he really is. So, it's just when we can go in with animals and teach people that when they interact with animals to just go with their heart, the light of their heart, and see the animal as perfect. No matter what's happening on the outside, see the animal as perfect, because that's how animals see us. They see us not as perfect, but they see us as a beautiful light. They see us for who we are inside. So I've said this before, that's why animals who are with people that abuse them still love them, because they can see further than that anger. They see deeper and down. So that's what we need to do with the animals as well. So we're coming down to 11:14, but we still have some time. So let's have conversations. And we can talk more about meditations if you want to hear more about that. But I would love to hear from all of you if you want to say something. For those of you who haven't spoken before, you know, this is an open community. We all support each other. And what I love, and for those of you who are new here, and Sue, I don't think I said hi to you. Welcome. Is that sometimes when people ask questions, they're like, in fact, this whole topic was because of a question by Eddie. Eddie wanted to know which meditations to use for animals. And so you can use any meditation, but you have to make sure that you're going inward, that you're not, oh, I'm going to do a meditation that focuses on healing this animal. That would be not so good. But if we're going inward, that's different. But when you all speak up, it creates a whole wonderful discussion. So please. Oh, yes, Kelly. Yay, Kelly.
Okay, so a few things. I just want to say that I'm glad I'm back because I've missed I think 2 months of these calls. But also I wanted to say me too with when you were saying that when you're outside, the bugs and everything will just come on you. And I experienced that so much ever since becoming Reiki certified. Ever since bringing Reiki into my life, they're always landing on me, always crawling on me. And I just let them because I see it as they're really moving all day long. They're just stopping for a rest and they're just using me as a little rest and just getting a little bit of light up in them and then just going on about their life. And I'm always have a nice life.
Oh my God, I love that so much.
Yeah, it's really just cute little moments that just bring you so much joy with this tiny little life that most people don't even notice, you know? So I love that you said that because I was oh, me too. And then the last thing was that I love that you're going to SeaWorld because obviously the animals there could really use Reiki and I think that they'll really appreciate it. So I love that you're going there for that.
Yes, absolutely. Because, you know, a lot of people say, you know, don't support SeaWorld or zoos or things like that. And I agree. I would never donate to them necessarily. But the animals there need us. The animals there really need that light to be reminded that they are important, they are seen, and and to be thanked, right? For that's what Kelly and I will be doing. We'll be going there and we'll just be thanking them for all the joy that they've brought to so many millions of people and thanking them for, you know, being the ones that are in captivity, that are bringing awareness to these issues and how they're changing and how they have changed what's happening. And I think that that's really important to do. So thank you so much for acknowledging that. So we have a couple questions here. Colette says, asking for some Reiki healing for an old guy, Tucker. Oh, pitbull mix. You know what? We're going to do a meditation shortly and we can put him in there.
Yeah.
And he says, what do you guys do to stay neutral when there are horrendous animal abuse that you're dealing with? That's a really good question, Dee. That's a really good question. I know that Kathleen taught a class in Michigan where this woman had rescued these animals that had been in horrific abusive situations. And again, you have to do what you can to let go of what's happening on the outside. It's already done. It already happened, right? So unless it's an ongoing situation, and that might be what you're saying, what we need to do is just shine our light, right? Our light can heal. Our light is inviting. Our light is important. So when we shine our light, if there's a video on the Animal Reiki Source YouTube where it shows Kathleen has a video before Reiki where the dogs are just going crazy, and then after Reiki where they're calm and they're quiet and they're just, you know, enjoying that space. And there was some really incredible healing that happened after that class. But if the abuse is happening actively, let's say it's a neighbor and they're not taking care of their dog or cat or whatever, you can still shine light, because light is more powerful than darkness. And there's nothing really you can do to change it. And maybe in that space, when you are shining your light, you might realize, oh, wow, I could call animal control because the dog doesn't have water and that's against the law. So there's things that maybe you could do. But just in general, when an animal has undergone abuse, but it's over, we never want to focus on it. We want to focus on the light. Oh my gosh, you're safe. You're loved. You're so important. We see you. Thank you so much for trusting us, right? So you really shine your light. Again, all this method of Animal Reiki is about being the sun. You go inward so that you can let go of your own anger, your own worry, so that you become humble and honest and grateful and compassionate. And in that space, your inner light, the light of who you are, shines out to everyone, right? And that is what's healing. And the animals show us time and time again that is what they are accepting of. So hopefully that helps. I know we have a couple questions and then we need to get to our meditation. So Gabriella, yes, hello.
Hi, sorry. Let me get the hand off.
I got it.
I'll try.
You're good.
Anyway, okay. So, the question I have, obviously I'm Reiki. I'm not a communicator whatsoever. And I don't know, but lately, the more I do Reiki on animals, I feel like, oh, well, he's just hungry, or he just wants this, or they want this. Or I went with a friend of mine in San Diego and she's like, oh, can you do Reiki on my cat? I'm like, dude, like, no, I'm not going to go and sit and do your cat. Like, I'm not going to do that. So I explained to her a little bit, what I would do. I'm just going to meditate and see what he, I'll just check. And later that evening, she's like, hey, I didn't see you doing the Reiki that she was expecting. I'm like, I told you, I'm not going to do that. And she's like, well, what do you feel about Marco? I'm like, your cat's fine. He's like a teenager. He just wanted to see what my deal here. Like, okay, you're good. He's like, I'm surprised he didn't bite you or he didn't do anything. I'm like, I was just with him and, we have an understanding. I'm here for peace. He's not going to mess up with me. Your cat is like a teenager. Feed him, leave him alone. Don't mess up with him. You didn't carry him. No, he doesn't like that, Lilian. Why would I carry him? Leave him alone. He's a teenager. He's like, wow, you just described him. I'm like, oh gosh. But my question here is, I apologize about this. When is it that it is the Animal Reiki? And when is it that somebody was telling me you should study animal communication? I'm like, I don't think that I'm a communicator, but I get the sense when an animal like, oh, well, he's hungry. Or no, he doesn't like to take that off. Because is there a line?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So I would say that what Animal Reiki does a lot of the times is it makes us more aware, right? So in our everyday lives, we're like, blah, 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 we're in high beta, we're not seeing what's happening, what's being shown to us. Like animals are always trying to show us, hey, this isn't right. This isn't. So when we do Animal Reiki, we actually quiet our mind, right? We sit in that space. And then when we're sitting in that space, I know this happened to me. I had a little min pin I was fostering and he was peeing in the house, but only once in a while. And I was like, oh my God. And I couldn't figure it out. And then one day when I was just sitting meditating with him, it was like, oh my gosh, it's when new people come to the house, he pees. And so then the next time somebody was going to come over, I made sure he went pee, and then he, and I told him it's okay. You don't have to pee. You don't have to mark. Everything's fine. Not animal communication, just telling him, hey, this person's coming over. You don't have to pee. And he stopped peeing. Was that animal communication or was it just awareness? Animal communication is active. You're having an active conversation, right? Yeah. So I'm saying, oh, Buster, you're peeing in the house. Why are you peeing in the house? And I have to wait for him to say something to me. And then I have to say, okay, I have to verify this. Okay, are you saying this? There's a conversation that's active. Whereas Animal Reiki is passive. We're just holding space. So in that space, we might get impressions, right? We might get understandings, like with you, oh, he's biting because he doesn't feel safe or he doesn't want to be picked up. You just get that feeling, but you're not asking him. That would be a separate thing. That would be an animal communication session where you're actively talking to him. But yeah, you might get things. I think that's only natural in an Animal Reiki session. What we want to make sure we don't do is we never want to stop and then go, oh, let's have a conversation about this. It's just like, oh, thank you. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And then you just go on and holding space, right? So I
And
think,
if you can come when Tia's here,
yeah,
I think that would be wonderful. She'll probably have some great information for you.
absolutely. Because
I-
Taya is an animal Reiki teacher. And so
Yeah.
she was
Okay.
the one that first told us. I mean, we knew you don't do both together, but she was the one that did a talk
Yeah.
on Shelter Animal Reiki Association and basically said, look,
Yeah.
animal Reiki is passive, animal communication is active. You have to get verification. But animal
Okay.
Reiki, you might still get things, but you don't have a conversation about it. You just go, oh, thank you. Let it go. Then afterwards, if you're an animal communicator, you can go over here and talk. But I also highly recommend her book, Gabby, because I think that,
Okay.
or her audio book, because I think that you would get a lot from it and it would really explain
Okay.
and would help you with that. So thank you so much, though. Thanks for bringing that up because
Thank
that's really important. And so we have time for one more question. Beth,
you.
yes.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I have a question about Kathleen's visualization meditations, all the other meditations that she has. Are they to be used or can be used or no? I'm wondering where do we use them? I know we use them with people because we do meditations with them all the time, but are they to be used in the sessions with the animals
So
as
can
well?
can you give me an example of one of her visualization meditations that you're thinking of? So then that would be better for context.
Oh, I can't think of the name of them. The one with
I know,
the
but
earth
just
and the
like what?
tree. The
So the
earth
earth
and
and the sky?
yeah, earth in the sky.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a perfectly fine meditation because again, it's you visualizing yourself as a tree. So you're visualizing roots growing deep, you're visualizing yourself as a tree, you're going up, you're expanding, right? The expansiveness. You've got the energy of the sun, the light, you have the heavens expanding you. And now in that space, you're really strong, you're really grounded, and your energy is going outwards. That's completely simple. Or I think she has one like where you're a caterpillar and it's kind of more for you though, that one. So it's like, you know, you envision yourself as a caterpillar, it's dark, but then you start to see the light and come out and then you're a butterfly, right? You expand. So sometimes we have to contract, go inwards, and then we expand and go outwards. So there's all kinds of visualization meditations out there. And again, this is where, like what Jamie said, intention is really important because when you like, let's say you're going to do the earth sky meditation and the earth skies meditation, its kind of point is to be grounded and expansive and open, right? So you can set your intention. I'm open to receive whatever I need most out of this meditation, right? That's a really good intention to set for yourself. We're not setting it for the animal. We never set the intention for the animal. The animal sets their own intention, right? Whether or not they're going to accept it, whether or not they're going to come close, whether or not they're going to leave the room and take it outside of the room. You know, they have choice. But for us humans, that's a really great question. You can use any meditations with the animals as long as the meditation is in an outward, I need you to change and be something. Now, I think that maybe some of Kathleen's, it's been a long time since and I know she's constantly creating more, but I know that there might be some where you visualize like a wolf, you know, and the wolf is big and happy and, you know, strong and all these things. That's for you, like, right? The wolf is in you. And so that visualization is just so that you can get in touch with that power. But she never does like, imagine the dog is sick and now you're imagining that he's completely healed and da 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 da. You know, you're not going to get that. She might say you visualize the dog is happy. That's different than we're trying to heal you with this meditation. We're trying to visualize you have let go of this cancer. The cancer is dissipating from your body. Now you're happy. You know, we don't want to focus on the cancer.
So they're more for our personal practices.
Right. And then Kathy says using totem animals. And I'm not sure, Kathy, if you want to unmute. And Beth, you can stay unmuted too, because you might want to comment on this as well. So when you say totem animals, Kathy, what exactly are you meaning by that?
To choose animals that we kind of associate a certain strength with.
Yeah.
So maybe the perspective of eagle or the resiliency of another animal, and then we use those totem animals to kind of give us that visualization, that holding space for that energy
Yes.
to come through.
Yes, absolutely. So in level 3, you learn the sun and the moon meditation, but it's an advanced one, and you're envisioning an animal on the left side of you, which is the moon, and an animal on the right side of you, which is the sun. And so maybe you envision a tiger and a dragon, or maybe you envision a lion and a bear, or maybe you envision a swan and a deer, right? So, Beth, I want you to unmute for just one second. So I love that, Kathy, because you're exactly right. Like, we can have these animals that have a lot of strength, and we can visualize that. So does that help, Beth? Because, like, exactly what Kathy was saying, that, you can visualize the strength of the eagle or the sight of the eagle or whatever that is. And then you go, okay, that could help me hold space for this animal.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
So
Thank you.
Yeah,
Does
thank
it-
you so much, Kathy.
Yes, it always goes back to your intention, Beth. It can be for you, it can be for any being that would like to join you. It's all about your mindset and your intention.
And I love what Anne said too. This is just a kind of reminder in general. Animals remind us to live in the moment, right? In the moment.
Yes.
Well, so when you go sit with that animal, you can be free of all your stress, all your worries in that moment, just how the animals teach us. So I know we're
Yes.
down. I don't know, Jamie, if you want to walk us through or do the Joshin Kokyo meditation, because you're so good at
Sure, I'll do that one.
Well, get ready. And so next week, I don't know, I talked to Jamie about this. Some people, some of you, we didn't say for next week, so hopefully Jamie will be open to this. But some of you have asked about blogs and writing blogs, and Jamie's really good at writing blogs. So we were going to do a call about blogs and how to use AI and for your blogs and how to use it kind of ethically. And so it's not kind of changing your voice, because you have to be really careful with AI. It will change your voice, and it's not a good thing, especially now that like AI is being used more and more. People are catching on to the cadence of AI. Like, I know exactly when someone's used AI to write an email or a blog, because it has a very distinct boom, boom, boom. And so you got to be really careful with that. So if Jamie's open to that, we are going to do the blog. I don't know, Jamie, if you would be ready to do it next week or not.
Sure, we could do that next week.
Okay.
And you can bring any other questions too. So if
Yeah.
you're not interested in blog writing, please come and bring your questions, but I'm happy to do that next week.
Yeah, because usually our talks are just about 15, 20 minutes. And then so thank you everyone for contributing. And now we will get it over to Jamie to do our meditation.
Okay. So everyone just get comfortable and start by just taking a couple of deep breaths. We've been in our head, we've been thinking, talking. Let's just release any stress, quiet our minds a little bit. So a couple of deep breaths before we begin. Shake it out. Now go ahead and bring your hands in Gaso, or the prayer position, and set your intention to practice the Joshin Kokyo and to hold space for ourselves and for any being that would like to join us. And then go ahead and put your hands in your lap. They can be palms up or down, whatever's comfortable for you. And begin by taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose, and pull your breath all the way down your body, all the way to the belly. Fill that belly. And then gently exhale out through your mouth into the space around you. Take another slow, deep breath in, pulling it all the way down to the belly. And this time, visualize it igniting a light inside you. And as you exhale, this light travels up your body and out through your breath and your skin into the space around you. Take another slow, deep breath in, pulling it all the way down, really igniting that light that's inside you. It's growing larger and larger. And as you exhale out, this light fills your body and goes out into the space around you. Take another breath in, down to the belly, igniting the light. Every cell in your body is glistening now. And then exhale the light out. 2 more breaths like this. Breathe in to the belly, ignite the light, and exhale it back out. And the space is growing larger and larger. Breathe in to the belly, ignite the light, and then exhale this light out back to the space around you and back to the universe. Now let your breath find a natural rhythm. And put your focus on your heart center. And if it helps, you can just put your hand there if you need to. And just feel the joy that fills your body since you have connected with this beautiful universal light. The joy, the compassion, the peace. Just allow that to flow through you and out from you. And now you can again invite any being. If there's a specific animal or person, you can invite them to step in, always letting them know whatever they decide to do, whether they join you or not. Whatever they decide is perfect. And just hold that space and feel that love. And with every breath, you just feel your heart center expanding even larger with all the love and joy and compassion. And it feels so full that finally it can't hold any more light and love. So your heart center opens like a flower blooms gently. And this light shines outward, out to any being that would like to join you. And just stay focused on the love and the joy. The love and the joy and the light. And just hold this space, this beautiful space that you're in and you're willing to share. And when you're alone, you can stay in this space as long as you like. But right now, go ahead and put your hands back in Gaso, the prayer position. Give thanks to whoever joined you. If someone joined you, thank them. Take a deep cleansing breath in all the way down to the belly, bringing you back into this reality. Exhale out. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes.